You like Trump? Good girl. You like Biden? Come on, man. We cheated. Alright, we're back. My niece and her little girl just came in. Alright. I could have swore I told the boy to put his number on here and he didn't do it. And hey Jeff. My name is James, but I don't really care what you call me. If you call me Jeff, call me Frank, call me Phil. Fill my balls, I don't care. It wants me to repair the amp, upgrade the power wires, check LED bulbs are installed, see if they installed properly on the buttons and meters, and should fuses be removed. Well, that's up to you if you want them removed. I normally remove them because I like to put my fuse either really close to the, well, that's nice, really next to the, I remember talking to him now, and the reason I remember is because of the, yes, it looks like you have an imbalance in this thing. So this is a Texas Style 500. Yeah. I didn't even see it there to start with. That's a cool ass front right there, ain't it? Nice. Yeah, I take the fuses out. Kind of like the way BBI does it, and uses these as a perch instead of putting two of those things in. For one, it saves on strain release. You just put one wire in here, goes over to there, instead of coming off with two number 8s and two number 8 hots and two number 8 grounds, the way I've been doing them. But to save wire, one is going to be sufficient to pull this one good 8-gauge wire. And I don't know how long it's going to be before copper wire is going to be so high that you can't even afford it. I'm pretty sure it ain't going to be very much longer. Everything I've seen is going sky high. I don't know. People just don't even think anymore of what normally, and I've not thought about it a lot, but to put this aluminized wire in an amplifier is going to have to be over twice the size to get the same current. It actually needs to be 3/4 more of that aluminized wire to do the same current as copper. And copper is going up and up and up and up. If you're going to go invest in any kind of stock, you better be investing in copper, nickel, cadmium, all kinds of stuff like that, because it's only going to go up. And then, you say, well, nickel, cadmium, that's, hell, that's more or less a thing of the past now. They done came out with some kind of new type. Probably 4 or 5 different types of stuff they're going to start making batteries out of. Alright, first thing, repair amp. Transistors, if they're bad, I don't have any. $19 DOE. Ain't that kind of funny? Yeah, same company makes them. This is a pretty new amp. This one ain't very old. You would look at this thing, amp, and think that this would be the output, and by just looking at it, but knowing it it's not. This is the output combiner. You have a resistor, a ferrite with 5 turns around each one. It's a resistor tucked up underneath there. And that one's got pretty damn hot. And it's still probably good. This looks awful. But that can be replaced on that. Once you get to using these things, it's like you can't stop using them. Let's see if I can at least diagnose this thing, see what's wrong with it within the next 30 minutes. I'd like to try to keep my videos around 30 minutes here lately if I can. I know this ain't gonna be a fix. I'll have to come back to that. So it'll probably be 30 minutes now. And be split up in 2 parts. And believe me, it's a lot easier to disassemble than it is to go back together. Come on now. But I like to do these on air, on film, because somebody might say, well, you screwing me out of my transistors. Well, one thing, they're DEIs. They're no, which HG is the same company that makes them, but they're not worth really keeping. I mean, I have reused them in different little things, but I don't sell them as new transistors. I put 2 little amps together the other day, and there was mystery amps, and that's what it had in it, DEIs, which there's nothing wrong with DEIs. If you got them in your box and they're running, run them till they're gone. Run them till they quit running. Now, I don't abuse them, but run them just because they're running. And somebody says, well, they're no count. That's a lie. They run. I got people call me all the time saying, well, should I replace these transistors because they're DEIs? The answer from me is going to always be no. If they're running, let them run. Just because somebody said they're no count, that's not true. I don't know what it was, a place in Silicon Valley somewhere, California. I think they were AEIs or ASI something, some transistor. And I had some of those, and they was, well, they was better than any Toshiba I ever had. But I mean, like I had, it ain't like I had 3,000 of them and tested all 3,000. That 10 or 12 that I had at that point in time was really good. But they didn't make many of them. I don't know. when I got internet, I looked them up, and the best information I could find on them was they were made in California through semiconductor. And I still get a newsletter from them people to this day. In my email. My email is horrible. I don't never go through it and clean out the junk. I need to. But it's horrible. When you see majority of the people, especially BBI, I guess he's one of the first ones started that, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he got it from somebody else. I don't know. We pick this stuff up from people. When we see it, they don't really keep up with it, I don't think. At least I don't. Maybe they do. I don't know. He's a lot smarter than I am. Hell, anybody's smarter than I am. But if you put those LED lights in right there, you're doing a good job. Got a little something touching, but what was I saying? But getting back to this, using these, and you'll see the fuses left in them, but they really don't do anything. They're just making a saddle or a bridge or whatever. You put the wires here, you know, of course, go with your hot over to here, and this is pretty much useless. The fuses don't do anything. It just holds the power wire from here, and then it bridges off from here and goes to here and then over to here, which is a pretty neat idea. Saves wire, and that's getting back to the whole thing of, I don't know how long copper wire is going to even be available, how much. Teflon wire is getting ready to go way up. It seems like we're going to have to use up what we already got this year or so. I don't know if it's going to completely stop. I don't know. You can't tell the future in anything like this. And you think they gonna care? No. They don't care. Which, this is nothing to really care about. Who needs to communicate? When cell phones go out, it's going to be all left up to us to communicate with one another. And they done about screwed that up. They want you fighting and fussing and not getting along. It makes them happy. It makes them happy that you're fighting and fussing and can't get along. That's the reason they don't try to stop it. It's like a parent tells you, say, look, I done told you not to do this, and they sit back and just watch you do it. And they say, well, I told you not to do it. But that's not the end game to their strategy. A parent's end game to what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to get you prepared for life. When you grow up, you take care of yourself. But see, they don't want you to do that. They want you to be dependent on them forever. And believe me, I've done it. I've sat back and let Amy take care of all the bills, pay all the bills. When they come up, well, when it comes time for me to know something, I don't know it. Because I ain't been the one doing it. But then again, when it takes time, when it comes time to drive down the road and your car won't crank, and it comes back to me. So it's a give and take on that part. And it always will be on certain things. Well, sure, that ain't no count. The leg done broke off of it, so that's one gone. I know you got at least one gone. So that means you're going to have to replace 4. I don't think I have any 19D08s. And that's what these are. $18. That one, it's like I said, it's gone. It's done passed away. I got a cousin that runs a business digging cemetery plots, the holes for people that's going to be buried, and told me the other day that there are not going to be any more footstones made at that cemetery, or at the cemeteries that he works for. There's not going to be any more footstones of people that died. It's like homeless people, this, that, and the other. Anybody that didn't know who they were. It's not going to be any more Jane Does or John Does. It's going to be, even though it was a guy, it's going to be listed as a them or a they, or some kind of pronoun or some shit they came up with. I don't know. But something like just them or they died at 2021. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it's going to be. But he said the orders have been laid down to what? Well, it don't show any of them being bad. Or these, I don't know about that and I can't check it. But maybe that one was already gone. Maybe that was the one already popped. Don't know. Let me look at my pile of junk. I'm pretty sure, and it's nice of an amp, you ain't gonna want to replace it with them, but we'll look anyways. I don't think I have any more DEIs. That's all I got. All of them's HGs or either RFTs, which PP100s. A couple of Motorola's. But I have to figure out who you are. Like I said, you didn't put your number. I remember talking to you, but I can't keep up with everybody. So I'm going to have to figure out. I'll go back through my phone and look and look and look till I find. But I'll clean this up. Get all this jism out of it. But it's a good looking little amp. And yeah, I can do everything you want it done to it. That money came out the top. I think we had talked about it. It's for new transistors anyways. You know, that gets me. You know, they got this virus going around. And they never told you to wash your money or nothing like that. And it's a virus. It can be transmitted. It can be COVID here, and I can touch it and touch my mouth or my eyes or my asshole or anything, and you will get it. You don't necessarily have to go through that mask to get it. But that money, never said anything about washing that. I don't know. Maybe it don't live on cloth, but my wife is a lab technician. I'm pretty sure I've never asked that question to her, but I will. Can you get it through cloth? Because that's what money's supposed to be made of. I don't see why not. I don't know. And just think, if they take biological warfare or want to give you something, so all I gotta do is put it on something like that. You're done for. They can kill you in so many different ways. And they can make you think the way they want you to think in so many different ways. But alright. That's a pre-video on this. We'll put the stuff over in the bag with it. Look, vacuum sealed. Did you know that? Well, you just learned that right then and there. Put the slider with it. Tommy. Well, they call me Jeff, so his name in my phone's probably Bill. I don't know. I get people call me all different kinds of things. There, one guy calls me, evidently Jeff. One calls me Hurley. One calls me John. One calls me Jim. I don't care. As long as you call me for supper, I'm fine. I get enough of that. Alright then, later.